Yo, what's going on, boys and girls? How the devil are we? Shanksy here, and today I've got a general overview on all about gear for Raid Shadow Legends. If you're struggling to work out what's good, what you should be keeping, and what you should be farming, stick around as we give you a broad overview on all the gear that you can possibly get your hands on. Yo, what's going on, everyone? How the devil are we? What is cooking, good looking, and all that jazz? So, we've got a bit of a gearing guide today that I'm going to be predominantly focusing on an overview on gear in Raid Shadow Legends. Now, hopefully, we're going to make this into a series where we break it down even further. But for a general overview, we're going to talk about a little bit of everything. So, first thing to keep in mind, guys and girls, is artifacts are purely RNG. There is no way to grind for a specific role or a specific stat that you want to get on the gloves or boots or anything like that. It's purely about luck and if you get that right role. And that's just for the top bit, not to mention the sub-stats and things like that that you want to be looking at when gearing up your champions. It is all totally RNG based, guys. So, you can get different stats on every single one of your every one of your items, and that is attack, defense, HP, crit rate, crit damage, speed, accuracy. Alright, now it is worth mentioning that attack, defense, HP, crit rate, and crit damage can actually come as a percentage rather than a flat value, but it is always better to get that percentage on certain weapons. So for example, let's have a little look. Now it's worth keeping in mind as well, guys, that not everything can get a percentage. So weapons are always going to be attack, helmets are always going to be HP, and shields are always going to be flat defense. So flat attack, flat HP, flat defense for your top three, and then you start breaking down to different subsets within the bottom set. So your gloves can be crit rate, crit damage, it can a defense, attack, both flat numbers and percentages. And again, when you're looking at your gloves, your armor, your boots, you really want to be going for that percentage rather than the flat value. Now, there are certain things that cannot be rolled in a percentage. Accuracy and speed are the most notable ones, guys. They are the ones that you cannot get a percentage. It is literally just about hopefully getting like speed on your boots. Speed's incredibly important, obviously. More speed, faster that you get your turns. The more turns you get, incredibly important. So, the top three sets are always going to be the same. So, the top three slots, are always going to be the same. Attack for your weapon, HP for your helmet, defense for your shield. Bottom three can vary, but obviously you're really looking for percentages. Now, one thing I really want to go into in this one as well, guys, is when you're gearing up your champions and working out what you want to be putting on them, you want to actually be looking at their skills, seeing what they scale with as well. So whether it be damage based on attack, or whether it be damage based on defense, such as Umbral Enchantress, really work out what's going to scale them the best, and obviously then try and gear around that. Not all A1s, for example, are going to be based off of attack. Umbral Enchantress is based off of defense. I believe Beardfell is also based off attack. It's based off attack. Fair enough. Most of them are based off attack, but they can all be based on HP. They can be based on lots of different stuff, guys. So look at your champions before you go in there and work out what you want to do for them. It's always also worth talking about the jewelry, guys. So once you get to your champions to a certain level and you've ascended them high enough, you're actually going to unlock jewelry. Now, with the jewelry, you've got rings, you've got amulets, and you've got banners. One thing that's worth noting as well is predominantly these are going to be flat stats. For all of the ring, the banner, and the neck are normally going to be flat stats where it comes to either HP, defense, or attack. Now, it is worth noting that you can get crit damage on the neck and you can get accuracy on the banner, but they are going to be flat stats but it is possible to get those things on your jewellery as well. And well worth putting them on there once you've got your champions to a high enough level. One of the big things to discuss as well, guys, is the actual sets bonuses themselves. So, as you can see, we've got lots and lots of different sets that you can equip onto your champions. Now, a life set, for example, will take 2 pieces of gear to get that bonus. An offense 2, defense 2, speed 2, crit rate 2, and you go a little bit further down to like life steal that will need 4 pieces of gear to get that bonus. Now, it is worth noting that if you stack, for example, 6 different bits of speed gear, you will get that bonus 3 times. But obviously you can't do that with something like life steal because you need 4 bits of gear to actually unlock that bonus. Now, depending on what your character is being used for, depending on where or not you're running them, it's worth building them appropriately. Now, you might even have the same character and switch gear around whether or not you're taking him to clan boss or arena, for example, because they're going to require 2 different things. Where for clan boss you want that survivability, you want that life steal, you want that high HP, where for arena you might just want some big hitters and get rid of them quickly. Now, the same character can do 2 very different jobs with the right gear artifacts on. Now, when you're dealing with gear, guys, literally the star value is so important for the base stat. Now, a 6-star common will normally be better than a 5-star uncommon 9 times out of 10. Now, when you're going to be rolling that common, you're going to end up getting the substats, and because of that, you won't get the bonuses for the substat while leveling it up. However, the bigger number, the main thing, whether it be the crit rate or the HP or the attack percentage, whatever it is, the main number will always be higher depending on how many stars you have. So a 6-star common is actually better than a 5-star uncommon, for example, if you're going for speed boosts. You know, if you're going for that flat attack, whatever you're going for, general rule of thumb is a 6-star is better than a 5-star because of that. Now, the only thing that you might want to keep in mind, though, is when you are leveling something up, is when you can see if you've got a common or a rare, and you can already see the substats. So if you're going for, I don't know, putting a weapon on a defense-based champion, and you can see a percentage defense there, and you're actually more concerned about the substat, that can be a different rule of thumb when you're looking for those things. Because basically, rolling that common, you're still going to get big bonuses. You're still going to get all those different bonuses unlocked once you hit the milestone levels. But it could be anything. It's literally pure RNG again. Might as well go buy a lottery ticket. Where the beauty about a legendary is you at least know what skills or what substats you're going to be getting, and then they're just going to get bonuses. But you still don't know what bonus is going to get what. Now, when we're looking at the gear as well, it's general rule of thumb, it's 40% for a 4-star is going to be what you can get. So you can see here, I've got a chest plate with attack on it, 40% because that's max level at 4-star. Where if that was 5-star, that would be 50%. And obviously, if that was 6-star, you'd be looking at a whopping 60%. And that's what I mean when I say the base star, the 6-star is always going to be better than the 5-star, because that's an extra 20% if this chest was a 6-star as opposed to a 4-star. Absolutely huge when it comes to the base stats, and that again is with everything else. Now, with the exception of crit damage, so crit damage will actually be added an extra 5%. So if you wanted to go crit damage on gloves, it would actually be 65% on a 6-star as opposed to 55% on a 5-star. So it does give you that little bit of a bonus for crit damage as a percentage. So with that in mind, guys and girls, on these bottom ones, you normally want to be looking for percentage rolls as opposed to flat stats. Now, that is obviously a bit of an exception where it comes to boots. If you get boots in there, you're quite happy with speed as a flat stat. That is what it is. You know, it's much better for them to be as quick as humanly possible. Or sometimes it's also worth caving in for something like accuracy on the chest as opposed to a percentage. But these are very character dependent as opposed to a general rule of thumb. So what you really want to be looking, depending on your character, is percentage based on all of these three bottom ones, apart from speed on the boots. If you can get speed on your boots, lovely of the jubblies. But make sure they're not flat HP. Make sure it's not flat defense. You don't want that on any of the bottom three without a shadow of a doubt. Now, when you're leveling these, how high do you take them? Now, I've gone a little bit higher on a lot of my gear than I should have when I was first trying out things, and a little bit of this, a little bit of that, putting a little bit of everything everywhere. And I spent a lot of gold that I didn't really need to. Now, what I would say is if you've got a 4-star, try not to take it past level 12. You know, level 12 is a decent roll for it until you can get your 5s and 6s, because that's going to cost an awful lot of gold when you're leveling them up. It takes a huge amount of gold, and again, that is all RNG based. So, level 12 for 4-star. Sometimes you can take that higher if it's, I don't know, speed boots and you particularly need them. Maybe crit chance, crit damage on the gloves, that's fine. But try not to take it generally past 12. Now, 5 and 6 stars are fine to 16, but you've got to remember, guys, this is going to cost an awful lot of gold. Make sure it's a piece of gear or a character that you're going to be using a lot of, because it's a hell of a lot of gold to waste for no particular reason. So, when you're first starting out in the game, guys, you can genuinely farm a lot of gear early on. Now, it might not necessarily be good gear, but we can get the life set from Carrot Castle. We can get the offense set from Sewers of Arnok. Now, again, when you're going in there, you can see what the reward is for each of these stages. So you can literally put together a whole set, whether it be defense, crit chance, accuracy, speed. I don't even know what that is off the top of my head. I think it's resistance. And then life steal from gear 8. Once you've done all of that, and once you're being able to farm the campaign, it is worth then going to have a look at some of the dungeons. Now, if you can't beat the dungeons to farm them out, then farm the gear at the campaign before coming over to the dungeon. Now, what you'll see on the left-hand side is everything that drops from this particular boss. So if you're fighting the dragon, these are all the things that he can drop. And again, so on if you're fighting Ice Golem, these are the sets that he can drop. Keep in mind, though, you've got a lot better chance from obviously farming the campaign out, but the gear in the bosses in the dungeons are so much better in compares of stat-wise and things like that. You know, star-wise, all that type of stuff. It is going to be better in the dungeons, but it's also an absolute crapshoot when you're trying to farm these things out. But generally, it is better to have something on than nothing. So, for example, if you're missing a little bit of speed, get yourself in the campaign, farm out, chapter 6, anything you like, get the speed things in there until you can start clearing dragon a little bit more comfortably, or ice golem or fire knight. Once you've got those teams together that can clear that, and that's going to work out a lot better for you. Now, again, when you are looking at these things, and I'm going a little bit off piste here, but it's worth noting, when you are going through ice golem, for example, it's either a 1 or a 2 star. 3 or a 5 star. It always tells you what you're going to be farming, but then it's going to be a crapshoot between what it is, where it is, type thing. So, guys, that is literally it. That is our overview of gear when you're starting off. I hope it helps. If you've got any questions, guys, please leave them down below, and I will do my best to get back to you as quick as humanly possible. Massive shout out to Master Jedi for helping me put this together. You absolute bloody ledge. And guys, if you like the video, do me a favour, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. If you want to catch me on Twitch, you can find me over at my live stream, which is www.twitch.tv/Shanksy. I hope to see you over there, guys. But until next time, you take it easy. Be smart, be strong, be safe, and I'll see you on the flip side, baby.